Hey, what's poppin', boys and grandmas? And welcome back to my YouTube channel, where, it's phase 2 now of the A-Train channel. So yeah, you guys better buckle your seatbelts and hold on to your pants, because it's about to be story time. So this story is about when, me, my brother, and my dad all went to Colorado. Um, my uncle flew us down there. We were just hanging out. We're gonna hang down there for a couple weeks, and, everything was normal. The flight down there, the guy started cranking like Ninja did in the FNCS of Fortnite. And so we're all chilling on the first day down. I'm scared on my mind. By the time we get off the plane, my palms are sweaty, my knees are weak, my arms are heavy, man. It's like an Eminem song. But nevertheless, we have a good time up until 2 days before the 4th of July, like July 2nd or something like that. And my dad and my uncle have just went out to get fireworks, and they came back because it was the 4th of July. And I mean, well, it was the 4th of July in 2 days. And so they were just wanting to light off a couple, and we went out there, AKA, so my dad and my uncle were in the backyard of their house, and it was out front was me, my aunt, my older cousin, and my younger brother. And we're all hanging out there. We're lighting off some of these spinny fireworks. Also, we hear this big boom, boom. And my dad and my uncle have lit off one of those big giant mortars. And and after that happens, like 10 seconds after, this woman walks out and she's like, guys, no. And we're like, what? What are you saying? And she's like, you can't be doing that because that's illegal. And and my aunt is just like, what? Who says it's illegal? And she's like, yes, you're disturbing the peace of the neighborhood. No one else like batted an eye about it or anything. I mean, a couple of people, they just were like, oh, that's really cool. Or like the people who walked by. And this woman was just, you could tell she was that Karen look. She had that like Karen haircut, that sway in her hip, like she owned everything. And she really didn't. She thought she did, but she didn't. And me and my cousin, my brother, were just hanging out there while my aunt, I was just sitting on the sidewalk pretty much, while my aunt and this woman started battling it out, just tossing things back at each other, tossing insults. And then this woman is like, if you guys do that again, I'll call the cops. And so she walks inside, and so I try to find my dad and my uncle, and I can't find them. They're playing hide and go seek from me. I don't know where they went, but like 10 seconds later, once I get back up to the front, all of a sudden I hear this big boom, boom, and they lit off another one, and out comes this woman. She's just looking for trouble, and she just is like, I've called the cops, and she has this little child with her, and my aunt's like, where did you get that child from? Because you never had that before. And she's like, that's none of your business. With just the sass of somebody who definitely wants to speak to your manager. And we were just like, oh no, we don't have to deal with this. And then the woman walks inside, so my aunt tells me, my brother, and my cousin all to go inside. And then the cops actually do show up. They're like, hey, we heard they have some illegal activity going on here. My aunt's like, no, it wasn't illegal activity. We just had some, like, we were lighting off some of those spinny fireworks and stuff. And then the cop's like, well, you can't light off because it's so dry. And we're like, oh, we didn't know that. We talked to him a little bit. He just gives us a warning, says if we get, like, reported again, we will, be fined. So we're okay with that. And, and it rained the next 2 days, like solid, just straight rain for the next 2 days. And this woman is just nowhere to be found. And when the 4th of July rolls around, we're all here. We're all about to let off some extra awesome fireworks. We have a really neat fireworks show. And because their house was so neat, close to the countryside, we saw them or the farmers and stuff lighting off these awesome fireworks on their fields and stuff. And we were all having a good time, chit-chatting and just being like, that's amazing. And I still have some of those videos on my phone now. And we were all chilling out, hanging, having a good time. And we light off a couple of these really big fireworks, and this woman doesn't come out. And basically, we were lighting them off the whole night, and nobody reported us. The woman wasn't even home, which just made everybody even more mad at her. And after that, my aunt told us why, like, she was just acting so sassy and stuff. And my aunt was talking about when they first moved into the neighborhood, this woman had just been so sassy to her, like, she was just very mean and not wanting to talk to them. And so my aunt, she, because it was the two houses on both sides of the street, and my aunt couldn't park on her side of the street, so she had to park on the other, on like the Karen side of the street. And so this woman was, so my aunt just parked her car up. She wasn't even very much on her, near her, like, her house. And this woman walks out and she's like, is that your car? My aunt's like, yeah. And she's like, well, you need to move it. And my aunt's like, oh, why? I can't park on my side of the street. And she's like, well, you're not being very nice because my sister needs a place to park because she needs to work 2 jobs. And my aunt's like, okay. And, so I guess her sister was staying with her for the moment. And we didn't know this. And, so my aunt just later on, once the Karen started doing incredibly weird things, like walk into their backyard to see how many cars they had, and then complain to them with how many cars that they had and be like, you shouldn't have that many cars in the back. And then my aunt and the Karen basically started a mini war where my aunt would just park all of their cars in front of her house just to make her more mad. And, yeah, eventually she started to get really annoyed. And, within the past couple weeks, my cousin said that they have actually moved. And if you guys can hear construction noises, don't freak out. People are operating and working on my road, or on the road in front of my house. And today you guys are getting a 2-for-1. You guys are about to get a whole nother video. So, this part is about the plane ride back from Colorado. Going there was fine. Going back, me and my brother and my dad, I was scared out of my mind because I don't really like flying on airplanes, but I have to do, a boy's gotta do what a boy's gotta do. So I get on the airplane, and I'm chilling there on the airplane, and here comes these like girls who just look sassy and don't look very nice. And so as soon as they go on the plane, they start just talking really loud, cursing. They have no filter, man. It's just kind of crazy. And so the way we were set up is me and my dad were sitting on one seat, like right near the back, and my brother was sitting the seat across from us and up one, and he was off on the window seat. And so when these girls sat, one of them sat up right in front of where I was. I didn't have the window seat. I was sitting next to my dad, and my dad had the window seat, so I was next to the window seat, and this girl was sitting in front of me, and her friend was sitting where my brother was, and these girls kept on talking. No filter, man. It was just, they were just talking about these weird things, and just cursing and being like, oh yeah, F him. And, the plane was having mechanical problems. It wasn't passing a safety inspection. So, that wasn't good. We had to wait like 3 hours. We were about to take off one time, and then all of a sudden the plane stops, and the pilot says, well, I'm sorry, but, the plane's not passing the security thing. And we were supposed to leave at like 3 o'clock. We ended up leaving at 5. And everybody was all just tired and mad and stuff. And these girls just kept on talking about everything under the sun. Just a lot of weird things, like just weird things. I think you guys know what I'm thinking. Just like a Deadpool movie, like Deadpool 1. They were just saying everything under the sun. And me and my dad were all on the plane, and the plane finally took off. And my dad was finally fed up with them, and he was like, "Do you guys have any respect for the people around you?" And the girls are like, "No, you white man, stop talking to us." And then I start cursing at him, calling like him just a white B word, and just being all around douches. And then the pilot, or like the people who are with the pilot, go up to everybody and they're like, "Hey, is there a problem here?" And my dad's like, no." And then they're like, "He's just being a white A word." And obviously my dad didn't appreciate that, and the pilot basically went up to them and he's like, "If you guys are gonna keep causing problems, you guys are gonna get kicked off the plane." And we were on the ground at this